Hi and welcome. Today, I just want to take a few moments to talk about how to sit with and tolerate distress. And I know in psychology and when we reach out for professional support, there is a lot of attention given to, of course, trying to alleviate the circumstances, situations that are the root cause of the distress, which makes sense. However, there are so many places where when we examine it closely, we see one, that maybe we can't move away from the distressing source or situation or problem, if you would have it, or we find that the source of the distress is actually internal to us. And it's going to take some time to learn how to undo that and work with that and go deep within and integrate and understand. So before we can get to that place, we actually have to learn how to sit in the distress more so than just solving the problems around the distress. So how we do that is a little bit by understanding first what distress causes us to do. So when we are facing something that is painful, a source of pain, it is very common for us to exasperate the pain situation by actually projecting it forward into the future. So I might say, not only am I in pain right now, but I might start to have this imagined response that I will be in pain forever. I will be in this level of pain forever. How am I going to cope longer term? And then it starts to kind of magnetically pull these problems, these imagined problems and future fears in towards us. So what started as a difficult situation can quickly amplify as our brain pulls us forward to the future. One way to think about it is actually kind of a sense of negative daydreaming. And that's because moods are magnetic and because our brain is very state dependent. So when we're in a state of distress, it is normal for us to imagine future distress or to recall past distress. Once we understand that this is happening and we know that I can't just solve the problem that is the source of this distress for me, then the very least I want to try and do is to reduce what our brain is kind of doing to amplify it. One thing that we can do to try and help deal with the distressing situation and learn how to tolerate it then is to try and reduce the things that our brains are automatically doing that add to our level of stress. So time becomes something that we can consciously choose to manipulate in a way. If our brain is going to have this tendency to pull us into higher distress by going into the future or back to the past, we can actually say to ourselves, I'm in so much distress, I can only think about smaller units of time. I can't think about this problem in a week from now. I have to think about this problem right now or this feeling right now. So the higher our level of distress, the smaller the unit of time we're going to want to try and look at. In times of great distress, this might actually mean catching your breath and just recognizing, okay, what do I need to do right now? And in times where it's just been unbearably hard in my own life, I can think about moments where it's been, I just need to get out of bed. I just need to walk to the kitchen. I just need to make a cup of tea or get a glass of water. And that small unit of not allowing my brain to pull myself forward kind of helps to just feel all of the distress of the situation without the amplification of time travel. So the higher the unit of distress we are in, the smaller the unit of time you're going to want to think about or to choose to consciously focus on. As your distress starts to go down, which it will, partly because your body will get used to that alarm response. It'll start to come down a bit. Your body will get used to this distressing situation to some degree, and the alarm signals can come down a little bit. As that comes down, again, catching your breath and thinking, okay, I can think about today. What do I need to do today? And really trying to anchor on, while I'm in this state of distress, what is it that I am capable of or able to accomplish, focus on, put my energy towards today? And over time, again, as the habituation sets in, so the alarm bells naturally start to come down a little bit, the shock of the situation might wear on and off, so you might have little spikes and numbing moments. You will slowly start to recognize, I can titrate out a little bit more. Now I can think about the week. Maybe now I can start to plan about next month. And there isn't a timeline that you should be following. It needs to be guided by how you're doing. So if you start from the premise of, I'm allowed to vary what I can handle. And today I notice my distress level is an 8 out of 10. So what I am able to focus on time-wise and capacities needs to narrow down. And maybe it's, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna go to work. And maybe at work, I'm going to ask for help and resource and things like this and take a smaller win. Now, we know that as you recover through and move through distress, which we do because time has a way of pulling us through it. So as you recover through and move through and adjust to the situations and the difficulties you're facing, your capacity is going to go up again. You are going to find a way to take on more of what is required of you in your life. But if you simply hammer down and try to say that me giving 100% must stay the same at all times, you're actually going to be more prone to, kind of burnout, to errors. And again, you're allowing that brain mechanism of high distress, future and past, adding to your current state to just go unchecked. With most of the things that we talk about in psychology or in wellness and in spiritual growth, these concepts sound fairly common sense, and in fact they should. And they can sound simplistic. It's so easy to talk about scaling down your thoughts and focusing on what you can do and allowing yourself to have fluctuating capacity. But with most things of human endeavor, it's much, much harder to put into place. So think about it, sit with these concepts. Then as you go forward and try to make these changes or to play with the concepts and make them your own, please do so with full embracing of self-compassion. It's not going to be easy, and it'll be easier sometimes than it is at other times. And just because it's easier today to do it doesn't mean that it should be or will be easy tomorrow. Humans are dynamic, our experiences are dynamic, and so is our capacity. So I hope that this is helpful. It's been a very pivotal kind of framework and mindset for me in my own life, and for many people in our clinical practice have kind of been able to voice that it's been a bit of a tethering point for them as well. So please play with and make this your own. And as always, in love and only love. Thank you so much.